Martina. Welcome to the show. It is really cool to have you here. Tell me, how are you today? How this Thursday is treating you so far?
Good morning, Dan. Thank you for having me so much. It's great. It's amazing. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I love talking about myself.
I love it. I love it. That's amazing. All right, so let's get started then. Let's go back. Let's go back in time a little bit here and tell me how this passion for acting started.
Um, well, I would say that I was a late bloomer because I started when I was actually 23 years old, which is considered already a little bit late for some people, right? Not that there is any limitation to the age when someone can start or should start, but I would say that in a classical, in regards to let's say usually people start acting like when they're younger, and then it develops into career. I started a little bit later when I was 23, and just recently a friend of mine posted something on Facebook. I actually started as a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
That was my first sort of acting kind of workshop back in Croatia, and it was a year 2004, and I was horrible as a stand-up comedian. Horrible. And but that was okay, because I will never forget that moment when I was performing for the first time, and obviously, as I said, I wasn't successful, but since that moment I kind of acknowledged to myself that I can't lie to myself anymore. This is what I want to do. I love theater. I love being in front of people. And that's how it started.
There you go. I love it. Then, was it something else you wanted to do back when you were little? Because I think it all happens to us, right? When we're little, we want to be astronauts, even superheroes. Why not? But in your case, was it something else you wanted to do when you were little?
No, as a matter of fact, no. I to be honest, I don't recall. I think that maybe I wanted to be a teacher, but I think that I wanted to be an actor as a kid, but it was just I don't know. I have a feeling like maybe I didn't have anyone to share that thing with, like the idea. It's not that I don't know. It just maybe seemed to me that it's not available to me even as a kid. So it took some self-development and growth and maturity probably to finally have the courage to go for it.
Okay. And focusing more a little bit on your acting career, tell me like how you prepare a character. Now I understand, of course, that it depends on the role, but like what are usually, let's say, the first steps you always took? I mean, you always take, sorry, for you to start this process of character creation.
Very good question. So it really depends on what are you working on. For example, lots of auditions that I'm getting, they're just one liner or two lines, and well, obviously I read breakdown to just have a context of what's happening and what kind of character it is. What are her characteristics? Is there anything physical that I can do? Like I love when I'm doing self-taping. I love when I have an opportunity to do something like an action, right? Is it pouring water? Is it drinking something? Is it fixing something? I like action when I like it when I have an opportunity to do something when doing self-tape. But when it comes to, I just recently this week actually, and it's a great opportunity to announce a theater play that I will be performing in. For example, I just booked a lead role in a theater play. Cool. In White Rocks Players, and the play is called. It's going to be a world premiere actually, by Finnish author Vil Numenpää, Best Divorce Ever. My character Anna, she's when I have an opportunity to really develop or bring the character in life to life, I like finding personal connection to the character.
Mm.
Where I can recognize myself in the character, what moments, or they don't necessarily have to be identical, but something that resonates with me, with my experiences. So Anna has lots of those moments, and that I can recognize. And so this is going to be really, but she's so different than me. She's I would say that I don't see myself as a very feminine woman, let's say. That's how I see myself, but I think that she's more, I think that she's maybe a little bit more gentler. And anyways, so we'll see. But there is one character that I actually wanted to talk about. So for a scene study, when I was attending one of the schools here in Vancouver, I wanted to work on a scene from Da Vinci's Inquest. And I think it was written by Chris Haddock. I really love Chris Haddock, everything he's done. So it was a male character, and he was a psychopath. So I really loved the scene. And so I decided I'm gonna do this male character. I'm gonna make it a female character, and it was a psychopath, right? So I started, like, I love when I have an opportunity to research. So I was, like, watching all the YouTube videos of different interviews with the psychopaths, like real psychopaths, just to pick up on, like, when they are speaking, what do they do with their face? What do they do with their eyes? How do they behave? And I was listening to their interviews, because you have to it's not that you have to, how do you justify a psychopath's behavior, right? Sorry for talking so long.
No, it's okay. I love it.
How do you justify it? You have to, we all, whatever we are doing in our lives, we think that we are, making right choices. So we have to do it, right? We are justifying our actions, right? So how do you justify psychopaths' behavior or action? How do you recognize yourself? How do you find something in yourself that you can recognize, or like, you have to make a connection with a character somehow. So I was listening to lots of the Ted Bundy's interviews.
Oh, okay.
And I remember in one of his interviews, he mentioned, like, he was talking about his first time that he killed a girl, and he dropped her body somewhere on some hill. And when he was driving away from there, he realized that he left her shoes and her backpack in the car. So he just nervously dropped it out somewhere. And then he talked about, like, those first couple of days after, it was his first time, right? So he was kind of like, and then I recognized, I mean, when I was younger, I did experiment with some drugs, like speed, cocaine, whatever. It's part of life. And then I recognized that's the same moment, because how he felt, that's how you feel. Like, for example, if you have, like, partying all night, blah 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 blah, and then you go out on the streets waiting for a tram or a bus, and like all your senses, everything is so expansive. Like, the sounds are what is it, louder. You have a feeling that everyone's watching you. Everything is like, all your senses are so intense, right? That's how he felt. And that was like the moment where I was like, that's the connection that I found with him as a character. And from there, it was easier.
Okay, I love it. Now, let's say that one day I call you and I tell you I want to become an actor. Now, at my 30-year-old, I don't have any experience at all. Well, like, I only had like one play back in high school, one role, one line. I screw it up. It was fun, but still, I don't have any experience. So based on what you know, what advice could you give to me?
It's a tough question. There's no formula when it comes to acting, right? I love studying, so that's just me. I would definitely, I'm happy that I had an opportunity to study acting at a university. So just taking, I started with taking workshops.
Mm.
So I got introduced to, or I worked lots like method acting, Grotowski technique, Chekhov. So I was taking lots of those workshops um, throughout, many years. So, but I wasn't really studying it each day. So it was like once a week or twice a week, which is a great practice. And you can, I don't know, I really strongly believe that acting techniques are extremely important. More techniques you have, it's almost like you're in a pharmacy, and like more techniques more you experience more through those techniques. And so you're putting those experiences somewhere, you put them somewhere in your body and your mind. So for example, when you're working on a character, it's almost like being in a pharmacy, and like, or when you go to Chinese traditional medicine practitioners, and then like they have all these sorts of roots, teas, leaves, this and that. It's almost like when you need a character, because you have all this experience from different techniques and and then you're like, I need for this character, I'm gonna take a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of this, and you kind of mix it all together, and then you start working. But I would definitely, if I had an opportunity, if I had a means, I would definitely go and study somewhere for at least 2 years. If you're really committed and really interested in living as an artist, not just doing this for, I'm going to take a couple of courses and I'll see how it goes.
I'll take that into consideration.
Okay.
I love it. If I ever become an actor, once I get my Oscar, I'll be mentioning you on my thank you speech.
Okay, great.
I love it. Now, tell me, like, if you could, let's say that Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, you name it, right? They come to you and they say, we need to make a movie, right? And then you have this idea in which you will say, okay, what about all the characters that I have played at the moment? All of them, they're gonna gather to celebrate my birthday. Tell me, what would be the name of that film?
I did. Wow. Silence is the altar of the soul.
That's deep. Okay.
It's the quote from Paramahansa Yogananda, Autobiography of a Yogi. But it would be a very boring movie because everyone would just be present in that space, not talk too much. Everything would be like white, calm, lots of plants, maybe some water, like a spring or something, or the ocean. It would be a very, I don't know, I think almost etheric kind of atmosphere. I don't know.
Okay. I like it. Now, what has been either the funniest or worst audition you ever had?
Oh my God, yeah. Before pandemic, I used to, we used to have lots of in-person auditions. And one of the things that I'm always failing is, and I know they're gonna ask me that, especially for commercials, like, tell us something interesting about yourself, or just, you have to speak. You just have to be a genuine person and talk about something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then I'm like, well, what do you want me to, like, I don't know, like, I'm really failing in that thing. So I have to really prepare. I had to prepare myself with some random facts or whatever. The worst audition ever. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're. I think that all my auditions, how to say, maybe they're not, maybe not all of my auditions are great,
Mm.
but I think that there is some integrity in it, and I don't know. I don't know how to answer your question. But the best audition ever, you're asking me?
Yeah, either the funniest or this audition that maybe at the moment it wasn't funny at all, but right now you're laughing about it.
No, I don't recall any funny auditions at all. Yeah. And there are no bad auditions, to be quite honest. I'm always more or less prepared, or like, because if you're doing that for years and years, and there's always something that you can share and give in the moment, even if you have to improvise, even if it's on the spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Now, if you could describe your whole career, but on a drink, which one would you pick? Now, you could either choose a regular drink or you can create one. So, what would it be?
That would be definitely red wine.
Okay, red wine. Okay, and what would it be called? Like the name of the bottle, let's say.
Virtue.
Okay. All right, I'll take it.
Okay.
Like it. All right. Now, like my last question here is like, what motivates you? We all have those days, right, in which we just want to quit. And it's interesting because sometimes things are okay. Nothing bad is happening, but we suddenly get into this atmosphere in which we feel terrible, that this has been a waste of time. I mean, you name it, right? But so my question basically is like, what takes you out of those toxic thoughts and puts you back on this path, on this road that you have been creating for so many years now?
Lots of things. Well, I mean, being happy is a choice, or being, however our days are, however our lives are, at the end, it's our choice how we are gonna feel about it, and how are we gonna feel ourselves in it, in this life. So, just acknowledging and being aware that it's your choice how your life is gonna feel like, what perspective are you gonna have on your life. Because we can choose, I could choose, like, man, it's been 18 years. I haven't had a great success in acting, to be quite honest. I moved here to Vancouver. It's going to be 7 years, and it's been really tough. I'm auditioning lots, but I'm not booking lots. That's the reality of many, many actors. So how do you keep motivated? That's a very good question. I'm grateful to my agent. I'm really getting lots of auditions. But, you just do what... It's not a choice. Being an actor is not a choice. I mean, it is a choice, but it's almost like it's not. It is something, mission for my life. It is something who I am, and no one can take this away from me, and no one can give it to me. I am giving this to myself, for myself and for the others. And that is, I'm literally, I really devoted my life to this. And even though so far I haven't had a great success. This is a great success. The theater play that I was telling you about in White Rock Players. How to say, motivation. Motivation is a shit. You have to have discipline. It's not so much about motivation. You have to be organized, and you have to be disciplined and committed when nobody is looking, because for the most part nobody is looking. Being an actor is extremely lonely. It's so lonely. It's not so much because you're auditioning, or you have to have to find scenes. You have to research scenes. What do you want to work on next? It can be really, really lonely. So you have to be disciplined. And obviously, for the, most actors have to work different jobs, and then you have, different schedules. There is, you don't have like 8 to 4. Most of us,
Mm.
we don't have 8 to 4 jobs, and it's hard to. You have to find a discipline in. You have to stay organized in an environment where you have to be extremely flexible. For
Okay.
example, and you can never, like, it's not that you can never plan, but when we talk about commitment is like, oh my god, oh, I have like 3 days off. You can see in the schedule, oh my god, I have 3 days off. Maybe I could go, I don't know, on Bowen Island. Maybe I could go, I'm gonna go and go camping for 3 days or whatever. And then you get 2 auditions, and then you don't know, you're not gonna get any feedback on, you don't know if you're gonna book it, and there you go, you can go. So it's a really dedication and a commitment. So I don't know. Did I answer your question more or less?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end, yeah, like my point here is that I do believe that whenever you have a dream, or a passion for something, it's gonna be challenging, absolutely, and it's gonna be tough, and it's gonna be really, really hard, because you're actually building something from zero to something, right? Which is totally difficult. As for example, if you go work for a company, or if you find like a regular job, I mean, it's already built. You are just entering a place to work. But the fact that when you want to start a career out of nowhere, and make it into something, of course it is challenging, and it is tough, and it is not for everybody. It really needs a lot of I would assume that, I mean, I would say that it takes a lot of like what's the word, like a lot of
You have to have an honest conversation.
yeah, exactly, that was what I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly, because it is tough, and if you're not gonna like it, that's fine. But that is also kind of the beauty of life, that once you find something, stick with it, and make it happen. Because I mean, we all know, right? And this is gonna sound like super cliche, but we only live once, right? And I do think that we all come to this world for something, right? But it's up to us, of course, to discover what is that something, right? I mean, it's up to you to really see, like, to really see yourself from who you really are, and try to dig what you really like, because I do think that sometimes we do things, especially like when we are younger, we tend to do things without just thinking about it, just for the fun of it. I'm gonna do it, why not? But when time goes by, and we start to get older, then we start to stop doing that. I do think that we stop being adventurous, and we stop to be like, yeah, I want to do this, why, I don't care, I'm just gonna do it. People don't like it, fine, I'm still gonna do it. So I do think that if you stick like with that mentality to just make things happen, everything is gonna be possible, right? Instead of the what if, or what if people don't like it, or things like that. I think when you get yourself into that cloud of toxic things, you're gonna be miserable for the rest of your life. And then when you're 60, 70, or 80, probably you're gonna be those type of people who says, why I didn't do this when I was younger, I could have done this instead of that, I could have to go this way, or I really like this, so I should have done this. So
Yeah, well, you know what? There is no formula to life, and only at the end we will know if whatever we did or didn't do was right.
Absolutely.
But I agree with you. I mean, that's why I'm sticking with it, because it's only one life that I know of.
There you go.
Only one opportunity to give it my all. Yeah, you were mentioning, like, working for someone. Like, for example, even I started my own business. I have a residential cleaning company, and I'm so grateful to have this job and this company, because it's allowing me, flexibility with time, and I love it. I love cleaning. It's a therapeutical job. But what I was trying to say is that when you start some different kind of business, right, there's always a formula how to be successful in business. It's easier. There are paths to success. There are ways to success. there are so many resources. You can you can do and fail and then repeat and then make it better. But with I think that with artistic endeavors, it's the line is not straight. There's so many factors that kind of you can that are out of your hand, right? All you can do is do your best. Stay in training, keep training continuously, alone or with others. Find a way. It really find a way to win.
There you go. I love it. I mean, at the end, what can I say? What can I say, Martin? I mean, I really like your career, and I'm super sure that eventually, because it's gonna happen, hear me out, that a lot of people is gonna know what you do, is gonna love. Also, they're gonna love what you do because the fact that you're doing what makes you happy, and as cliche as it may sound, that do what makes you happy. Yeah, we all know that sometimes it takes years, decades, even your whole life to finally discover what makes you happy. So the fact that you have been discovering for so many years now, and you're working on it, and regardless of how successful or not successful might be, it's still amazing because you're doing what makes you happy, and that takes courage. That takes a lot of courage for you to be like, I'm gonna do what makes me happy, and that's it. So what you're doing is really cool, and as I said, I'm super sure that all of those amazing projects are coming soon. Hear me on that. 2023 is gonna be the year. I'm super sure, and our next conversation is gonna be, where can I put so many awards now on my wall, because I don't have space anymore. Hear me on that. That's gonna happen. And also, I want to thank those who are watching this right now. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that a lot. Make sure to go follow Martina in her social media. Like right now, I mean, the video is done. I mean, of course, it would be. I mean, you can leave a like, comment. Let me know what do you think about our chat here. But make sure to go follow Martina. Let's make her viral. She deserves it. I mean, hashtag Team Martina. She's amazing. And Martina, again, thank you so much for making this happen. Have an incredible rest of the week. Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to say thank you, Dan, so much for having me. But I really wanted to just a quick little announcement for the White Rock.
Go ahead. The stage is yours.
So I'm really, really excited and grateful for having this opportunity to be a part of the cast for this new theater play, Best Divorce Ever. It's a world premiere of a Finnish author, Vil Numenpa, and in White Rock Players Theater, directed by Julianne Christie, and it's going to be amazing. So February 2nd until 19th, 2023 in White Rock Players Theater.
You got it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much again, and I hope this play end up being super amazing. I'm sure it's gonna be because they have you in it, so let's be obvious. And again, thank you so much. Have an incredible rest of the day, or rest of the week, an incredible upcoming weekend, and remember that you deserve all the epicness because you're doing what makes you happy, and that's amazing.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right.